Hello, and welcome to RuPaul's Drag Race Rejudged, where today I will be doing a cast analysis of UK Season 1, similar to the one I did after All Stars 8 aired. In this format, I will be ranking queens based off their challenge performances. Great performances get 5, good get 4, fine get 3, weak get 2, and bad gets 1. While this is similar to the systems used by other people, I will be analyzing queens based off how they did in the challenge instead of their actual placement in the challenge. In 10th place, we have Gothy Kendall. Gothy is a pretty solid queen in terms of fashion. Like we saw in her promo, she can turn a good look. However, the episode 1 runway challenge really wrong-footed her, and she had a bad performance and was eliminated on it, giving her a score of 1. Since she was only in that one episode, there really isn't much to say about her, so we'll move on. Next up, we have a tie between Vinegar Strokes and Scaredy Cat. However, I will bump Vinegar Strokes down to 9th place, since she had more opportunities to do well in a challenge. Vinegar is pretty talented. She did okay on the season. It wasn't the best showing ever. She had one fine performance in the acting challenge, a weak performance in the design challenge, and a bad performance in the runway challenge. These scores total out to give her an overall score of 2, same as Scaredy Cat. Next up is Scaredy Cat with a score of 2, as I said before. She had a fine performance in the runway challenge and a bad performance in the acting challenge. Scaredy Cat is a queen that I think, if she came back after a bit of time, would do great. I hope we get to see her again if they do a UK-specific All-Stars, because I feel like she has a lot more to show. In 7th place, there's Something Wong. Get it? Get it? She had one good performance in the runway challenge, a fine performance in the acting challenge, a weak performance in the design challenge, and then a bad performance in Snatch Game. This is another queen that I definitely want to see back. I think she's underrated as a fashion queen. She clearly has a unique perspective that we saw in that first challenge, and I wish we got to see more of that. In 6th place, and this might be controversial, we have Bluey Ranger. Bluey Ranger did pretty well this season, but I feel it's slightly overhyped. I feel bad saying this, but she was the weak link of the Frock Destroyers. She still did well, but it wasn't as good as the other two. She had a good performance in that challenge and a good performance in the design challenge. She was fine in the runway challenge and Snatch Game. She was weak in the commercials challenge, and she was bad in the acting challenge, giving her a score of 2.83. Bluey Ranger did get to come back. She had a really solid run on UK vs. the World. I think she's underrated, and I think taking out Pangina is a great strategic decision on her part, so I'm really happy she won. She was also my favorite of all the UK queens on that season, so I'm glad that, let's be real, it was going to one of them, I'm glad it was her. She deserved it. In 5th place, we have Crystal. Crystal didn't really make that big of an impression on me, however, she did very well in the beginning stage of this competition. I think she was great in that design challenge. She had a very good performance in the runway. She was fine in the acting challenge. She was weak in Snatch Game, and then she was bad in girl groups. I don't know what happened to her energy, but it was not there. Same with Viv. Someone said that Cheryl Hull had the energy for all 3 of them in that challenge, and I wholeheartedly agree. In 4th place, we have Cheryl Hull. I'm just gonna say it. Cheryl's run on this season is underrated. Production clearly didn't like her, and I know she talked about being mediocre in the competition, but she really wasn't. Her makeover was great, her design challenge and girl groups were genuinely good, and her Snatch Game was also fine. She was weak in the runway challenge, the acting challenge, and that commercial challenge, but it really wasn't that bad. I think production just kind of threw her under the bus a lot to try and save other people they cared about more. I want to see Cheryl Hull back again. I think she is very funny. She can write a great verse, and I think she has a lot more to show. In third place, we have Baga Chips, who, let's be honest, only ever does great or badly. She has never had a middle-of-the-road performance on Drag Race. It has always been, like, very bad or very good. On this season, I think she was great in the acting challenge, I think she was great in Snatch Game, and she was great in girl groups. On the other hand, she was weak in the runway challenge, she was weak in the design challenge, she was weak in the makeover, and she was weak in that commercial challenge. It is a very common theme for her to do either really well or really badly, and I don't really know why it works out like that, but oh well. Baga's final score is 3.29. In a narrow second place in both this ranking and the season, we have Dina Dampo. I was floored when she did not come back for UK vs. the World. She is definitely someone that I want to see again. She had two great performances, one in girl groups and one in the design challenge. She was good in the acting challenge and in the commercial challenge. I think she had a fine showing in the runway episode and also the makeover. A lot of people say she should have been in the bottom, and I agree, but her makeover really wasn't that bad. Honestly, her only weak showing in the season was Snatch Game. Davina's score totals out at 3.71, once again very close behind Viv. In first place, we have the Vivian with a score of 4. Viv absolutely slayed this season, that cannot be understated. Viv had two great performances, one in the runway challenge and one in Snatch Game. She had 4 good performances in the acting challenge, design challenge, commercial challenge, and makeover, and then 1 week challenge in girl groups. I was not a part of the Drag Race fandom when Viv won. I know it was controversial at the time, but I really love her, and I'm really, really glad she got to come back. I feel like UK Season 1 is kind of slept on, but I'm glad she got a chance to come back and kill All-Star 7. She was robbed of being in the finale. Hey, it's Drag Race Rejudged. Do you want gay Well then check out the RuPaul's Drag Race Rejudged YouTube channel and hit subscribe.